Alright, so we are now a couple weeks removed from this Misfits 19 Supercard Gibb versus Slim. And as most of you guys know now, if you follow Misfits, Slim did lose that fight. It wasn't close in my opinion. Other people are saying it's close. And so we are actually hearing from Slim now because he does sit down with Fred Talks Fighting to actually have an interview and exposes that that might have been his last fight on Misfits. It also exposes a lot of contract details. Comes up with a lot of excuses for the Gibb loss here. I do not think Slim is showing that he is a true champion in victory and in defeat. He seems very much in denial over this loss to Gibb. Claiming a lot of things like back of the head shots, headbutts, all kinds of wild excuses in my opinion. I mean, at this point, after taking a loss to Gibb, I mean, where else does he have to go other than Misfits? Misfits is currently the best promotion in influencer boxing. I don't really think anyone counts Jake Paul's MVP promotion as influencer. I'm just more professional. Right now, Jake Paul is taking a more professional route, which kind of leaves room for Misfits to take over the influencer scene in my opinion. There's obviously other influencer promotions out there. We've seen the Wood Savage fight on, and like Slim started out on before Misfits. And the current time and era that we're in YouTube boxing, the only way to actually get your name out there is really honestly through Misfits. The best influencer boxing promotion currently, what can I say? If you guys disagree with it, let me know in the comments. So I am excited to get into this video and see what Slim's actually saying here and see what his plan is for the future, because like I said, other than Misfits, I really don't know what else he has going for him. Before we get into this interview, I do want to hear from you guys in the comments. Do you guys think Slim leaving Misfits is a good or bad thing? In all honesty, I don't really think it hurts or helps Misfits. Slim's kind of more one of those fighters that just sits there in the middle, not the best promoter, a decent fighter. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop into this interview so I can break this down for y'all. Alright, so already in denial here, we can see I won, I'm better than Gibb. No, you didn't, bro. Slim is not like that. Completely embarrasses himself on the mics up to the fight, then embarrasses himself in the ring, and now embarrassing himself after the loss. Not a good look for Slimmy here.
Fuck, bro. I never thought this would be so painful, bro. So yeah, no one cares that I got a broken hand. You know what I mean? That's why fighters gotta fend for themselves, bro. We gotta care.
He said no one cares I have a broken hand. It's boxing. You know what you're going into. You know the risk. You know the rewards. Boxing happens all the time. No one's supposed to care but you. Gibb did actually break his hand on purpose. He said every time they was fighting on the inside and Slim would go for a body punch, he would just simply drop the elbow, drop it into the fist. I don't even know why I stood up for that, sorry. That tactic is used a lot in Muay Thai. So very interesting to see who might have gave him a heads up on that in camp. It's more of a dirty boxing trick, but very interesting to see. 2 weeks after the fight, it's still affecting Slim here. So obviously whatever Gibb did work.
When you break your hand, you break your arm, who gives a fuck? Nobody. No one cares.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Now I'm out for 3 months, at least 3-4 months with no training. Like, I'm gonna say training, obviously, but my right hand, I can't hit no bag or pads for 3-4 months. And who cares? Guess who cares? Nobody except me.
I care, Slim. Fred talks about I care.
Really? You do?
Fred's such a cool kid, man. He honestly seems so genuine, so happy to be doing what he's doing. He said, I care, man, I care. At least someone does. At least someone does. I know I don't, but...
Really care, honestly, Fred?
Yeah, I sent you a text.
Like, yeah, I said, like, bro, I sacrificed my life for entertainment, you know, and people still thrash my name, do all this shit on my name.
It's the game. It's the game. Everything I've seen from Slim after the Gibb fight has been him crying and being a baby, saying he's leaving Misfits, claiming he won the fight. Just, it's the fighting game. If you're not built for it, get out of it. It's as simple as that in my opinion.
I still feel like I did enough to win that fight. Worst case is draw. It was a very close fight. I don't know why people are saying this.
It wasn't. Gibb put on a masterclass of performance and outboxed Slim. Put him in the deep waters. He had Slim completely depleted by the 8th round. I don't get this narrative Slim's going with that it was a close fight. Like, you can go back and rewatch the fight. 8th round, Slim was literally just a carcass out there in the middle of the ring.
Literally, all his punches came from the clinch or the back of the head. Richard Hitchens fought Leon Pato the other day for the world title.
And he says back of the head, but when you're inside fighting, when you're in these clinches, you have a responsibility to protect yourself at all times. If you're turning your face and your head away from your opponents where it's only exposing the back of your head, more than likely going to get hit in the back of the head. Slim did show a picture of his head after the fight. It was pretty bruised up and all that. I mean, it is pretty known he was hit in the back of the head here, but I mean, if it's your fault, there's really not too much the other fighter or the judges or the referee can do about it. Just stop turning your head in the clinch.
That shit was unbelievable, bro, the back of the head.
Okay, like, don't turn your head. It's that simple. Slim has lost a lot of respect here from the community just because of these wild excuses he is throwing out. Can't blame the other fighter for something that you're doing in the clinch. If you only expose the back of your head, that's the only place he can hit you. Use your head here. Use your head here, Slim.
That's from the back of the head. And that was from a dirty fighter. And Gibb did the same shit. You know what I'm saying? For 8 rounds, though. Thank God that wasn't a 12-round bout. If it was a 12-round bout, it could have been worse.
No.
I'd never lie to you guys. I can't continue this part of the interview. All I'm hearing here is excuses. If Slim would just come out, take accountability, say Gibb was the better man that night, and that's one thing. All I'm hearing is a bunch of excuses.
I don't know.
I would say you versus King Kenny's a big fight.
He just got knocked out though, man. Honestly, you know, but that could be a potential one in the future. Like, you know, if he bounces back a couple times, but that's a potential one.
Or the Soul Pappy rematch.
Yeah, that's another potential one in the future.
Honestly, I do think Salt Puppy wins that rematch. Slim versus King Kenny, I'm not too sure how that one goes. I do think Slim is the harder puncher, but I think Kenny's the more orthodox, fundamental boxer. I really don't know how those go.
No, but like, I don't know if it's next, but it's definitely potential in the future because Salt Puppy's getting his stock back up, which is good. Kenny needs to get stocked back up after getting knocked out. But Saul's looking good. I want the Gib rematch as well. That'll be nice because I feel like he really didn't do enough to beat me, honestly. I think it's very controversial.
He is the only one that thinks this, chat. He is the only one that thinks this.
If you don't believe me, go watch the fight again. If you don't believe me, go watch. Please, watching it live is different than watching it again.
But anyone on the Misfits roster kind of pleases you to fight them, or would you want to bring someone else in, like a UFC fighter coming off or something?
Yeah, I might want to. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I feel like I finished with Misfits. Done with Misfits. You know, I'm done with Misfits. Like I did an 8-round fight, bro. I showed that there's levels between me and the rest of these guys. None of these guys are fighting baby rounds, 4 rounds. 5 rounds.
I do get what Slim is saying here in all honesty. There's levels to Misfits. He's out here fighting main event 8-round fights. This is the other fighters fighting on the undercard, main card that's, 4 or 5, 6 rounds. So I do see what Slim's saying here about there being levels to this. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't think he's levels above any of the other fighters on Misfits in all honesty. And the Sop Poppy fight, Slim was getting beat up until the knockout. Then like we said with King Kenny is more of a fundamental boxer. So he does have the potential to outbox Slim as long as he doesn't get knocked out. There's obviously KSI, obviously Anthony Taylor, who yes, does clinch a lot, but would drown Slim in deep water. So this statement coming from Slim here is just false. Yes, there is levels in Misfits, but he is not above all the levels. So if he is leaving Misfits here, it is not due to being levels above these other fighters. All honest, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it is due to the Gib loss. You guys see the excuses he's making here. You guys see the way he's carrying himself. Gib completely destroyed this guy mentally and physically, and it's still inside his head.
I'm doing real fights, 8 rounds. Pros at the low level fight 4 to 6 rounds. 4 to 6 rounds. I'm fighting 8-round fights now. I want to do 10 rounds. Like, I want to show that I take this shit serious. Like, this is my life, bro. I love this shit.
So we'd have to bring an MMA fighter in for you on Misfits basically then next. Someone from the UFC,
Yes,
maybe
sir,
like
we do.
Eddie Alvarez, maybe. Be good. Fight some bare knuckle.
We see other boxers fighting the MMA fighters like Logan Paul versus Dylan Danis, Tommy Fury versus Darren Till, which was supposed to happen. Then Jake Paul versus all these other UFC fighters, obviously. I'm gonna be honest here, guys. I do not think Slim is on the level to compete against these MMA strikers. I've seen the Tyrone Woodley fight versus Jake Paul. Paul was arguably losing the match up until the knockout. Slim just doesn't have the power that Jake Paul has. Honestly, I do not see him competing against these high-level UFC strikers, former champions, anything like that. I think every statement that Slim is making here is completely delusional, and I honestly think he's a fraud. I don't think any of what he's saying here he believes or we believe.
Someone my size, bro. Someone my size. I don't want to fight this guy twice. People keep thinking I'm bigger than what I am. Like, even my fight against Gib, I did everything his terms. I went up to 168 as the champion. They made me the B-side fighter, which is fucking crazy, as the champion. Like, I did everything just for the fans, bro. And who gets the hate? I get the hate. I did everything, like, against my will, bro. And I could have been a diva and fought against it, but I didn't. Diva. And I went up against fucking... And Gib rehydrated. He was way bigger than me on fight night. But still, he was backing up, though. Like,
I mean, guys, like I'm saying here in all honesty, all I'm hearing from Slim's end is excuses and denial. Gib dragged him into deep waters, outboxed him, beating the back of his head in during the clinch. It was a pretty dominant performance from Gib. And with Slim saying he's levels above these other Misfits fighters, I already named 3 or 4 that he could honestly go out and fight. There's other less known fighters like Ashley Roxu, who got a win over King Kenny. I mean, like I said at the beginning of the video, where else does Slim have to go here? Like I said, with MVP, he's not good enough to compete with the pros yet, or even other high-level influencer boxers like we've seen from the Gib loss. He's obviously not on the level to compete against UFC strikers, MMA strikers like Jake Paul, like KSI, like Tommy Fury. So him saying he is leaving Misfits due to the skill level is just completely false here. He doesn't believe it. We don't believe it. Slim has lost a lot of respect after this loss from the way he's carrying himself. Like I said, if he decides to leave Misfits, it doesn't hurt us or help us. I don't know why I'm saying us like I'm a part of the team. Reminds me of that Drake meme, bro thinks he's a part of the team. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Pretty pitiful interview from Slim in my opinion. I do want to see him bounce back in the future, get his wins back, potentially become champion again. But as of right now, I'm no longer on the Slim train. He has lost my respect as a fan. As a person, that's different. I'm talking strictly as a boxer here. I do want to hear from you guys in the comments. Do you guys see Slim leaving Misfits? In all honesty, I do not. I think he's talking big. Like I said, he's just not at that level to be able to compete with these other organizations yet, other fighters. So I do want to hear from you guys in the comments. You guys do know how we do it right here. Try to upload daily over here on the channel. So if you guys did go and enjoy the content you've seen today, make sure to like, subscribe, stick around for a while. It is free. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, man.